There are many watches filling genres, subgenres, and sub-subgenres today. Dress watches, fashion watches, sports watches, dive watches, aviation watches, and every combination of these categories. Let's for a second acknowledge something as watch people. Our phones and connected devices do a better job in the category of telling time. The watch therefore has to be elevated to two categories: the timepiece and the non-connected rugged device capable of handling most activities that most of us, save for a few ultra-exceptional people, will ever do. I've owned divers like the Pelagos that go down to 500 meters, but the deepest I've ever been diving is 100 feet, less than 30 meters. At 500 meters, we would probably be in a suit larger than the strap could fit. I've owned dress watches like the Transocean Day Date and the Snowflake by Grand Seiko that are stunning, but do more than being a timepiece. These are all magnificent watches. They try to do too much to emulate many functions when what we needed is to distill the functions into the simple timepiece or the non-connected rugged device that doesn't need a daily charge and can be immersed in water for those beach days. This brings me to two watches, both of which I own and use. Perhaps they could not be more diametrically different, but they are honest works of horology in my opinion. Neither of them need any introductions. The first is the quintessential dress watch, the Patek Philippe Calatrava. Simple, elegant, but powerful. It's not going to win a contest of accuracy against any mechanical or quart watch. But then again, my iPhone trumps all of them for that function and most complications. What the Calatrava is the definition of elegance and simplicity in an increasingly complex world. A day at the beach, reading a book rather than the latest blog, or dare I say, YouTube video. A time to spend with family, not discussing politics, rather looking at an autumn sunset, holding hands. This is not a watch for the pseudo show-me world of today where flexing the latest Daytona, Nautilus, a watch with a tourbillon is the norm. There's a certain solidity to the watch, a sense of stability in an unstable world. While it is prohibitively expensive to purchase and will cost a lot to run over time, it is honest about what it does. It's an exclusive and expensive timepiece that has one purpose: to bring calm and strength amongst the bustle. The second watch is the Calatrava's kindred soul, the Casio GShock 2100. Yes, the Casio. The ice-cold beer to the 50-year-old small batch single malt. Proudly mass-produced, it has one purpose: to make sure when everything else fails, it's going to keep ticking. It will keep time honestly. You can go swimming in it. You can change time zones with the press of your button if your phone has died. The GShock can go on amateur dives, and it can be had for $100. While the Calatrava brings calm, the GShock brings stability. There are many other sports watches with higher specs than the GShock. But are most people taking their $1, $5, $10,000 or more watches to the beach on amateur dives? And if they do, for most normal activities, isn't that flexing? Do we really need an aviation watch if we're sitting in an Airbus or Boeing, whether we're in seat 1A or 32B? The definition of the tool watch needs to be just that: rugged, ready, and most importantly, like most tools, the ability to get dirty and repaired. I know there's some people who may use their 50 Fathoms, Submariners, or Pelagos to dive, their Speedy Pros and Daytonas to check race car speeds, but doesn't Google have an app for that? Let me say, I do love watches. And some of the names above, like the Submariner, Daytona, Pelagos, 50 Fathoms, Speedy Pros, Grand Seiko Snowflakes, are my favorite watches, and ownership of some of those has been an honor of mine. But this is about watches that are honest to their intended purpose and nothing else. Are those as honest as the Calatrava and the GShock 2100? In almost every test, the Calatrava and GShock would lose to those names, except in response to the question, are you honest in executing your purpose? Thank you for watching. I am building this channel for reviews and commentary of my favorite adventures and things. I will have more in-depth reviews of the Calatrava and GShock 2100 as I get more time on the wrist with them, and please see my unboxing video of the Calatrava.